Hi, I'm Shanna. Welcome to the best practices video for area and perimeter problem solving, 4th grade. Please take a moment to look at the funny image on the screen. A lot of times this is how area and perimeter are presented to students as a formula, but we want to make sure we present them with opportunities to understand what area and perimeter is and develop their own strategies for finding area and perimeter. Within this unit, we're going to be solving real-world problems involving perimeter and area, which means they have to identify if it's representing area or perimeter or what they're finding out. It also includes problems with unknown sides for rectangles. We may use symbols to represent those unknown sides when writing it as an equation, and also have students explore and discover formulas that they can apply every time to find area and perimeter. This includes multiplication with digits up to 3-digit by 2-digit, and also division with 4-digit dividends by 1-digit divisors. We're also solving problems involving rectangles with the same perimeter in different areas or same area in different perimeters. So what does student learning look like in the classroom? You're going to see a lot of real-world problems where they're determining, am I finding area, am I finding perimeter? They may need to make sense of the problem by drawing a model and figuring out what are my dimensions, and then using those dimensions. Once I've discovered a formula that I can use every time, you're going to see them applying that formula and labeling with units. You're also going to see a lot of comparing rectangles, same area, different perimeter, same perimeter, different area, looking at patterns. How does that affect one thing or the other? And then once again, just a lot of real world experiences. So they're determining, is it area or perimeter, and how do I solve this problem, including unknowns. What does student learning sound like in the classroom? You might hear, how did you find the area of the space? You want to hear students describing their strategies and not just telling you a formula, so that it's showing that they understand what area actually is. Why do you think the perimeter was the same for each rectangle, but the area was different? You want to hear that they understand that area and perimeter represent two different things. So just because the areas are the same or the perimeters are the same doesn't mean the other piece is going to be the same. What did you do when you didn't know one of the sides? So having them get to that problem solving, where am I guessing and checking? Am I finding the total that's missing and breaking it apart between two sides? Whatever it is, kids are able to explain that strategy. And then what is the relationship between area and perimeter? Understanding how they relate and how they're different. Here's some of the vocabulary we should hear students using as they're discussing the math within this unit. Area, formula, length, perimeter, rectangle, square unit, width. We want to hear them using this precise language as they describe their strategies. So how will students demonstrate their knowledge? Here are some examples from STEMscopes. We're definitely going to see them exploring a lot with rectangles to look at for area and perimeter, comparing the difference between the area and the perimeter, looking at real-world scenarios where they're using formulas to apply to find the area and perimeter. And you might even see a fluency builder game like Just Your Luck on the screen, where they're actually drawing rectangles, finding the area, finding the perimeter, and once again relating. Here are some questions to ask to gauge student understanding. How do I know if a word problem is asking for you to find the area or perimeter? Students should be able to explain that area represents the amount of space that's covered within the shape, and that it's represented in square units that are the same size, where perimeter is really that distance around. What strategies do you use to find the missing side length when given the area or perimeter? Like I had discussed on a previous slide, they may record an equation with an unknown symbol, or they might use what is the missing amount and break that apart between the two sides that are missing a length. If the area of two rectangles with different dimensions is the same, will the perimeter be the same? Once again, students should be able to explain that though it's the same area, it will not be the same perimeter. They represent two different pieces. Here's an engaging task or activity for home. This one's called Your Turn. You're going to have your child draw 3 different size rectangles. find the area and the perimeter, relate them, and then extend it to have them draw another rectangle with the same area or same perimeter as the other ones. Thank you for joining me for the video today. Hopefully you got a lot out of area and perimeter problem solving. This is just a funny image to kind of close out the video. Remember, we want kids to discover the formulas so that they understand what area and perimeter is, rather just how we learned where we just got the formula and had to apply it without understanding. Thank you again and see you next time.